The Florida Department of Transportation, Florida's Turnpike Enterprise, welcomes you to the public hearing for the Suncoast Parkway, also known as State Road 589, Project Development and Environment, or PD&E study of the Suncoast Parkway mainline widening from south of Van Dyke Road to State Road 52 in Hillsborough and Pasco counties. This public hearing is for Financial Project Identification Number 448068-1. This environmental study has been conducted by the enterprise in compliance with all federal environmental laws and pursuant to 23 United States Code, Section 327. The purpose of this public hearing is to share information with the general public about the proposed improvement, its conceptual design, and the potential beneficial and adverse social, economic, and environmental effects upon the community. The public hearing also serves as an official forum, providing an opportunity for members of the public to express their opinions regarding the project. This public hearing was advertised consistent with federal and state requirements shown on the slide. This project is being developed in accordance with the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Under Title VI of the Civil Rights Act, public participation is solicited without regard to race, color, national origin, age, sex, religion, disability, or family status. Please contact either Desiree Stills or Stefan Kulikowski at the address or phone number shown here to express any concerns regarding the enterprise's compliance with Title VI. This public hearing provides multiple participation options. The virtual option is being held on Tuesday, April 8th, 2025. Members of the public can participate via the GoToWebinar system or using their telephone. The in-person option is being held on Thursday, April 10th, 2025, at the Hilton Garden Inn. The same information is being presented during both options, and verbatim transcripts will be made of all oral proceedings. The public hearing video will be posted to the project website. The remainder of this presentation will provide an overview of the study, project needs, and our community involvement efforts. We will then review the preferred alternative and potential environmental effects, both beneficial and adverse. The study limits extend along the Suncoast Parkway from south of Van Dyke Road at milepost 13 to State Road 52 at milepost 29. The project is located within both Hillsborough and Pasco counties. There are 5 existing interchanges within the study limits. Pasco County is currently evaluating extending Rangeland Boulevard across the Suncoast Parkway. This PD&E study also includes evaluating one potential new interchange at Rangeland Boulevard, as requested by Pasco County. The purpose and need for a project provides a basis for developing, considering, evaluating, and eliminating project alternatives. The project purpose and need are to accommodate year 2050 travel demands, enhance safety, improve travel time reliability, and enhance emergency response and evacuation. In 2000, the population within Hillsborough and Pasco counties was just over 1 million people, and it more than doubled by 2023. The population within the 2 counties is forecasted to be over 2.8 million people by the year 2050. With the project located within a rapidly growing region, travel demands on the Suncoast Parkway are expected to increase by 70%. If nothing is done, the existing roadways in the study area would not be able to accommodate the expected increase in traffic. Improvements to the Suncoast Parkway are needed to accommodate year 2050 travel demands. In order to accommodate this demand, 6 lanes are needed now from south of Van Dyke Road to north of State Road 54, and 8 lanes will be needed by 2040. From north of State Road 54 to Ridge Road, 6 lanes will be needed by 2030. From Ridge Road to State Road 52, 6 lanes will be needed by 2035. Improvements to the Suncoast Parkway are needed to enhance safety. Between 2018 and 2022, there were approximately 1,045 crashes within the study limits, equating to an economic cost of $145 million. If nothing is done, increased congestion will lead to an increase in crashes. Improvements to the Suncoast Parkway are needed to improve travel time reliability. Currently, there is congestion during the morning and afternoon rush hours along the Suncoast Parkway and at the State Road 54 interchange. The proposed improvements are expected to reduce travel times during peak periods. And finally, improvements are also needed to efficiently process large volumes of traffic during emergency evacuation events. Serving communities is at the center of everything the Florida Department of Transportation does. During the development of this project, the enterprise has engaged adjacent communities and stakeholders in the project's decision-making process. In February of 2024, over 2,400 newsletters announcing the start of the study were distributed to residents, property owners, and interested parties. An alternatives public information meeting was then held in June of 2024, where project alternatives were presented. Approximately 100 people attended the alternatives public information meeting, and over 40 written comments were provided to the project team. Community feedback is at the core of all we do. The Florida Department of Transportation works with the public to balance their community vision with the community's transportation needs. This is routine on all of our projects to ensure Florida's infrastructure is safe, resilient, and efficient for many years into the future. This includes coordination with local governments and agencies to receive input that was incorporated into the preferred project alternative. A preferred project alternative has been developed based on the project needs, environmental and engineering evaluations, and community involvement. The preferred project alternative would widen the Suncoast Parkway to 8 lanes from south of Van Dyke Road to north of State Road 54, widen the Suncoast Parkway to 6 lanes from north of State Road 54 to State Road 52, improve existing interchanges, and accommodate a future interchange at Rangeland Boulevard. From south of Van Dyke Road to north of State Road 54, widening to the inside and outside is proposed to include 4 12-foot wide travel lanes in each direction, separated by a 26-foot wide median with a barrier wall. From north of State Road 54 to State Road 52, widening to the inside is proposed to provide 3 12-foot wide travel lanes in each direction, separated by a 40-foot wide median. Now we will cover the details of the preferred alternative related to the 5 existing interchange locations. After, we will discuss the ongoing planning efforts around a potential new interchange at the future Rangeland Boulevard. At the Van Dyke Road interchange, the preferred alternative includes adding an additional left turn lane to the northbound and southbound off-ramps and adding a turn lane along Van Dyke Road in the westbound direction to Ramblewood Road. Hillsborough County is currently planning improvements to Van Dyke Road that includes adding a shared-use path through the south side of the interchange. Proposed interchange improvements, as noted on the slide, will accommodate the county's planned shared-use path. In addition, a shared-use path on the north side is proposed as part of the interchange modifications. At the Lutz Lake Fern Road interchange, the preferred alternative consists of minor modifications that includes adding additional turn lanes and extending turn lanes at the intersections. In addition, a shared-use path is proposed within the interchange area on both sides of Lutz Lake Fern Road. At the State Road 54 interchange, the preferred alternative includes adding an additional right turn lane to the northbound off-ramp, an additional right and left turn lane to the southbound off-ramp, and an additional left turn lane from westbound State Road 54 to the southbound on-ramp. Along State Road 54 itself, an additional through lane would be added in the westbound direction beginning at the southbound off-ramp, continuing past Crossings Boulevard and up to South Branch Boulevard. Improvements would also include a shared-use path on both sides within the interchange area. At the Ridge Road interchange, the preferred alternative includes adding left and right turn lanes to the northbound off-ramp, realigning the right turn lane from the southbound off-ramp to improve the safety of the trail crossing, and adding a left turn lane from eastbound Ridge Road to the northbound on-ramp. Improvements include adding a shared-use path on the north side within the interchange area. At the State Road 52 interchange, the preferred alternative includes adding a left and right turn lane to the northbound off-ramp and adding a second right turn lane from eastbound State Road 52 to the southbound on-ramp. Improvements would also include a shared use path on both sides within the interchange area. We will now discuss the ongoing planning and development of a potential new interchange with the future extension of Rangeland Boulevard. When considering any new interchange connection, Florida's Turnpike Enterprise adheres to the following criteria. A new interchange must connect to a public roadway and serve all movements. The interchange must meet safety and operational requirements. The interchange must be supported by the local community. We place a high priority on projects that are welcomed within the communities we serve. And finally, the interchange must be consistent with local government plans and priorities. The preferred alternative includes adding a new interchange at Rangeland Boulevard. However, a new interchange would not be constructed until all criteria are met and funding has been identified. We will now review the interchange concept developed for Rangeland Boulevard. At Rangeland Boulevard, the interchange concept includes loop ramps on the north side of the future Rangeland Boulevard. The southbound off-ramp would include 2 left turn lanes and a single right turn lane. 2 left turn lanes would be provided from eastbound Rangeland Boulevard to access southbound Suncoast Parkway. The northbound off-ramp would include 2 left turn lanes and 2 right turn lanes. A single left turn lane would be provided from eastbound Rangeland Boulevard to access northbound Suncoast Parkway. Accommodating the northbound ramps involves a need for additional right-of-way from the adjacent parcel, as shown in yellow. The addition of a new interchange would also require some minor modifications to the alignment of the Suncoast Trail, as indicated on the slide. Trail users would go under the Rangeland Boulevard Bridge, cross the intersection on the west side through a crosswalk, and then continue around the interchange ramp to the north as shown. As a reminder, an interchange at Rangeland Boulevard would not be constructed until the previously discussed criteria are met. As part of every PD&E study, the no-build or no-action alternative is considered. The no-build alternative describes the conditions that will occur if the mainline widening or interchange improvements are not built. Advantages include no impacts to the social, physical, or natural environment, and no additional right-of-way or construction costs. Disadvantages include increased congestion and safety issues, slower emergency evacuation and response times, and future growth in the region would not be accommodated. Selection of the no-build alternative would not meet the project's purpose and need. When comparing the no-build alternative versus the build alternative, the build alternative eliminates mainline backups, reducing Suncoast travel time by 17% between Van Dyke Road and State Road 52. With the project access enhancements, signal delay within the study area decreases by 43%. The build alternative also reduces congestion on local roads, such as State Road 54. The build alternative will reduce future crashes, which result in a potential savings of $36.2 million over 20 years. Quality of life will also be improved, with reduced congestion and commuting time, improved air quality and accessibility, and reduced noise pollution with the addition of noise walls. We encourage you to visit the project website to view detailed exhibits of the proposed improvements. As part of the study, the enterprise evaluated the potential social, natural, physical, and cultural effects of the proposed project. The features listed are just some of the types of analysis included in this PD&E study. Avoidance or minimization of impacts to these features is a key consideration. Impacts that cannot be avoided will be mitigated. There are 2 areas of the project with a potential need for right-of-way or potential need for additional land. The first area of need is a 1/4-acre sliver of land adjacent to the bridge over TPC Boulevard, and the second area of need is 18.7 acres of land in the northeast quadrant of the proposed Rangeland Boulevard interchange. Please refer to the display boards for more details. The right-of-way needs for this project will not result in any business or residential relocations. A cultural resources assessment survey was conducted for this PD&E study to identify any cultural resources and assess their eligibility for listing in the National Register of Historic Places. No archaeological sites eligible for listing on the National Register of Historic Places were identified. 4 historical resources were identified, but determined not to be eligible for listing on the National Register of Historic Places. No significant impacts are anticipated as a result of this project. Federal protected species may be present or utilize areas within the proposed project. The project may affect, but is not likely to adversely affect, the eastern indigo snake, Florida scrub jay, and wood stork. Florida's Turnpike Enterprise will request technical assistance with the United States Fish and Wildlife Service, USFWS, on the project during the permitting and design phase regarding the regulations for these protected species and mitigation measures. State protected species may be present or utilize areas within the proposed project, but no adverse impacts are anticipated. Florida's Turnpike Enterprise will continue coordinating with the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission regarding these species. There are 6 existing wildlife crossings within the study limits. All existing wildlife crossings will be maintained, and opportunities to enhance will be considered during the design phase. The proposed roadway and stormwater pond improvements will potentially affect an estimated 6.15 acres of wetlands and 0.6 acres of surface waters. Florida's Turnpike Enterprise will mitigate wetland and surface water impacts resulting from this project's construction to meet state and federal requirements. Final pond site locations will be determined in the design phase. A location hydraulics report was prepared for the project to identify potential 100-year floodplain encroachments resulting from the proposed improvements. Floodplain impacts will be fully compensated for, and there will be no net increases to floodplain stages as a result of this project. A contamination screening evaluation report was prepared for this project to identify contamination concerns within the study area. The results of the contamination screening identified no high-risk sites, 6 medium-risk sites, 15 low-risk sites, and 2 no-risk sites for the roadway and stormwater pond improvements. These sites will be further evaluated during the design phase to identify options to avoid, minimize, or mitigate contamination involvement. A noise study report was prepared for this project. Impacted locations throughout the corridor were found to be potentially feasible and reasonable for noise walls. These locations are proposed for future study during design and can be seen in the noise study report prepared for this project. For more detailed information on the proposed improvements, including potential noise wall locations, visit the display boards located on the project website and at the in-person hearing, where a noise specialist will be available to answer your questions. The potential locations for noise barriers are outlined on the project exhibits. The legend included on each exhibit depicts the potential feasible and reasonable noise barrier locations as light blue, as shown here. The total project cost for the preferred alternative is estimated at approximately $984.2 million in present-day costs. All project-related costs are included in this total estimate. Pending completion of this PD&E study, the design phase for portions of the proposed project is funded. There is currently no funding for right-of-way or construction. The evaluation matrix compares the preferred project alternative to the no-build alternative and is on display and available for review. We continue to encourage public input to help us make this important decision. You can submit written comments at the project website, www.suncoastparkwaypde.com, or you can mail or email your comments directly to the project manager, Greg Moore. During the in-person hearing, you can also submit your written comments using the comment forms provided. Written comments must be received no later than April 24, 2025, to become part of the public hearing record. The next step is to incorporate your input on this public hearing into our decision-making process. After the comment period closes and your input has been considered, a decision will be made, and the final PD&E document will be approved. This project has and will continue to comply with all applicable state and federal rules and regulations. Thank you for participating in tonight's public hearing. This concludes our presentation.